Hello and happy gaming, everyone. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I feel the need to level with a lot of you a little bit before I move on with the run. I have not been exactly feeling myself lately, and I know it probably seems so cliche to come on and be like, "Sorry about the break, I have depression," but you know, cliche or not, there's still truth to it. I've been having problems, and I've been getting probably unnecessarily stressed out for a little while over a few things that have been happening in my life. So I've been doing what I can to try to make those problems better. I can't guarantee that everything will be alright. As a matter of fact, I'm not even 100% sure that there's anything there to promise, but I am working on it. So I apologize if I've been away for a little too long. I guarantee that wasn't my intention. But it's just one of those things that happens, and I do apologize. It's entirely my fault. I do strive to do better, but you don't want to sit here and listen to me rant and feel sorry about myself. No, you just want to know, you said a themed run last time. What is that run? Well, as you can see, we've got the lightning, the dark teleport, the swords, and unlimited power! That's right, today's run is a Palpatine-themed run. I don't know how well it's going to work because, especially since my first two opponents, not completely, but they resist the main focus of what I'm doing, so this ought to be fun. So to be fair, most of Palpatine's canonical powers are kind of secretive. I am a Star Wars fan, at least of the classic trilogy, but I don't know much about everything that Palpatine is capable of. Every time we think we're going to get some sort of answer about what can you do and why can you do it, the best we get is the dark side is a mysterious force, and some say that its abilities are unnatural. So what I've got to go off of is he's a dark sorcerer. So with that in mind, I am not going to limit myself as to what I can take, because I don't know what is and isn't okay for the theme. So I'm just going to take whatever makes this run easier for me to clear. Cool? Cool. Let's do this. So, if I happen to find the perfect time crystal... Or not the perfect time crystal, but the... Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So one of the issues that I'm having with... that seems really good with the setup I have. I don't know, I'm gonna think about it, because I also wouldn't mind Dragon Surge, or Dragon Blast, I believe that is. So, I am preparing myself for work as we speak. I just got out of the shower, so if you hear me complain about water droplets running down my chest, that would be why. And sorry to give you such weird imagery. Just imagine someone you really like without their shirt on and having just gotten out of the shower, and you can just let that run in your head for a while. The other problem I'm having with this particular theme run is that my strike field is very narrow. It does a lot of damage, but it's very narrow, so what I would like to do is pick up some things that improve that in some way. That, to me, just seems like a smart idea. What do we have here? Infinity Marble is good. That will ensure that pretty much whenever things go down, I've got a signature to use, considering how quickly it builds up. There we go. So another thing that my absence has done is made it so that I haven't really talked a lot about recent D&D games. So I've got a couple of weeks to make up here. So I'll kind of go over that slowly, as it does give me some things to talk about. And that is one of the things that hold on, let me come back here. I'm gonna try it. Okay, that actually is pretty ridiculously powerful. Give me that, give me that. Oh no, I don't want Flame Strike, I want that. So as you can see, because of my narrow strike range, I'm already pretty low on health, and also because of the Robe of Choice. So I need to really be playing a little bit smarter. Of course, one of the things I really need is something that strikes all around me. Oh, I don't know if I should be doing this. Trust me, I like the idea of strengthening my robe, but I also like the idea of, potentially surviving. So I need to play things real careful. Though the magnetic follow-up is really working well with the Field Berserk. If nothing else about this run, I am happy that I got to see that. So that actually seems pretty good. I'm hoping that does enough for me. So going down the line of the games that we had played, the first one I'm going to talk about the narrow strike range of my spells is making this very difficult. And just the discomfort factor of trying to play the game while still wet. Again, I apologize. I know it just sounds like I'm being lewd for no reason, but trust me, I did really just get out of a shower, and I am still feeling the effects of that. Nice little machine gun there, I love it. It'd be fun if we could see Palpatine do that shit. I don't think so, sir. Who do you think you are? So the first game on the list would be 2 weeks ago with my buddy's game, the one where I'm playing the 2 halflings. And I know some people take issue with people playing more than one character at a time. I understand that well enough, but This isn't a matter of I'm doing it because I feel like cheating. That's not at all what's going on. No, what we have going on there is that, first of all, we discussed it. It's me, one of our friends, and then my buddy as the DM. And what we have, and both me and my other friend, who is another PC in the game, we're both allowed playing multiple characters. So he has a father and son Dragonborn duo, and I have two halflings that have interesting genetic modifications. That would basically just be the same strike zone again. So, I think I'm going to let that one go. Yeah, I don't think I'm making it very far in this run just because I don't really have a lot of coverage. And right now, coverage is my greatest weakness. I can ruin anything standing in a straight line right in front of me, but that's about it. So, to offer further explanation on these pair of characters that I'm playing, it's one of them is part halfling, part hamster, and the reason why I went with such a strange combination is because it improves her senses, so she can do things like smell, see, and feel things that others wouldn't be able to. So she is a very classic rogue, throwing daggers, sneaking around, getting backstabs. What's interesting about her is that, once again, straight line. Everything is just a straight line. What's interesting about her is, A, she was trained in a form of ninjutsu without permission from a clan, so that adds just a little bit of tension to the story. The other thing about her is that even though she is pretty strong and uses that strength regularly in order to get things done, she's also a little bit on the cowardly side. And maybe unnecessarily so. Oh hey, that's a good defensive spell. I should really pick that up. Yeah, I need that. So what we have is a character that is good at what she does and is perfectly capable of handling things, but just gets easily spooked and freaked out by things. I find her to be a really interesting, endearing character, just for reasons of her backstory, where she comes from a wealthy family of hotel tycoons, but she didn't want to be known for that. You know, she didn't want to be known essentially for the Paris Hilton effect. So she does two things. One, she adventures, but two, and perhaps more interestingly, reactive mind mail is definitely something I could use for this run. More interestingly, she decided to make a name for herself as an acrobat. So, at the beginning of her career, she was a street performer who made herself well known just for being able to do crazy things. One of her traits is that she's a contortionist. So this allows her the ability to, on top of the idea that she's a halfling, she can fit into spaces and do things that even other high dexterity halflings wouldn't be able to do. So that's really fun and helpful, and it fits into her backstory quite well. The other character is one of her best friends, who is who is part of the same genetic modification project that she was. Her friend is part mole. And, you know, everyone always says how, oh, characters that can fly can really break the game. They're not wrong, just to be fair, but what this character can do is burrow, and because of the upper body and forearm muscles that one needs to be able to perform that, it's one of the few times you'll ever see a halfling that gets a strength bonus. So, and what she is a practicing monk, a martial artist that's, and stop me if you've heard this before, but her vision is very poor, but she gets around by using an extreme sense of feel and can sense the vibrations in the earth. So she's trained as a practicing earth elementalist. Yes, I know, it's very Avatar: The Last Airbender. We're all getting tossed vibes. Even I did when I first decided that that's what I was going for. But again, these two work well and complement each other, because whereas the first character is cowardly and easily scared, her friend is incredibly brave, and perhaps maybe a little bit too much so, because she tends to come off as arrogant and like she's overcompensating for something. Yeah, I didn't think this run was going to go well. The narrow strike range just didn't work out for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the same robe, but I'm going to do a different style of run. Because unfortunately the whole Palpatine thing isn't working because my striking field is just so narrow. So, here's what we're going to change to. We're just going to come right off the bat with something that allows me to attack in a 360. And instead of Fueled Berserk, we're going to go range, and in that vein, I'm going to go Thundering Chain. As far as my signature, I know birds, right? We're going to go Exploding Fireball. And I want to compare. Right now, that's doing plus 12. So I will be getting more out of Jade's Jeweled Tiara, but hopefully we'll find the Captain's Ring during the run. Alright, so this is probably going to be a slightly longer video, but I also haven't recorded anything in a while. I'm also a little out of practice. Oh, and thanks for giving me Atlas on level 3, you jerks. Alright, so gummy vitamins are going to be a must. Yes, birds. Oh, and immediately we get Enhanced Air Spinner, and that's Tracer Barrage. I love that spell. But before I buy it, I want to see what Anders is selling. So the two of them actually make a pretty good duo just based on their personalities. One of them is brave almost to a fault. The other one being a little cowardly but fast and sneaky. And I just love that combination of characters, and even if for no other reason than halfling hamster. What the hell? It gets interesting reactions out of the NPCs in the game, because it's like, that's both strange and adorable. And make no mistake, she's a very adorable character. Like, any of you who have seen or held a Syrian hamster know exactly what I'm talking about. They are some of the most adorable creatures in the world. Outside of you guys, God, don't get jealous. Hey, I'm telling you, you don't have to get so jealous. Yeah, Riku's screaming at me again. Surprise, surprise. I'm sorry, honey, but I need to record. It's been too long, and besides, the creative process and outlet actually makes me feel better. Yes, yes it does. Alright, so it's a few minor hits, but nothing big. Hey, you should take Breaking Twister. Thinking about it. It's not gonna hurt anything to pick up, I suppose. Alright, so the spell selection seems to be working out well in my favor, as I've kind of brought up before, but I think damage boosting relics and robes actually work better with spells that have high single hit damage. Because you can definitely get things to work with multi-hit spells, but it just doesn't work as well. Alright, what do you have? Defeating foes lowers active cooldowns. I do like that. I don't know what a wave-based arcana is. I will take the Subadabada. Hey everyone, have you seen my Subadabada? That's gross. Anyway. There we go. What a beautiful... This is a much better run than before. Ooh, Analytical Monocle. Alright, I'll take it. I do not like Rebounding Icicles, Sam, I am. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go back for Tracer Barrage. As much as I love the spell, it has a very similar issue to both Rebounding Icicles and Breaking Twister, of its spells that score fast, quick, but weak hits, and it doesn't scale very well when you have with damage ups. It scales very well with critical hit builds, but not necessarily with just straight power builds. Hey, I see Spell Thief socks up here, which I can't pick up. Okay, that's fine. I didn't even want them. Didn't even want Spell Thief socks. What do you think you're doing? Bouncing Surge, I will buy. There we go. It's a reliable source of crowd control damage. It's great against Sura and his Null Shock agents. And it scales well with damage up. Oh, baby, you better believe I'm buying it. So, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so the game with those two characters. Which, again, I feel... If you have an issue with players playing multiple characters at the same time, again, I kind of feel you on that. Just understand that this isn't a way to cheat. We've all agreed on it, and we're all having a good time with it. The characters are fun. They work off of each other. They're relatable. They're super adorable. I mean, at least my characters are. I don't know about the Dragonborn characters, but you know, different strokes for different folks. And if you like hunky boys, those are certainly the type of characters you want to be around. Oh, are you serious? On the other hand, if you like cute nerdy girls, then Shirley is your type of character. And then her friend, who... I named her friend Arietti, because at the time I was looking for something a little bit French-sounding. I was like, hey, that sounds kind of French and fun. Cool, I wonder where I got that name from, because I had heard it before, but I didn't know where from, so I decided to look it up. Turns out it's the name of the main character in a Studio Ghibli film, so That's a little embarrassing. I honestly had no idea that that's where I was going with that. I do want the Glove of Midas. So I'll come back when I have 25 more gold, and that should work out nicely. So I kind of accidentally named her after the main character in the Secret World of Arrietty. It was not my intention, just ended up working out that way. I still like the character, I went with it. So, what we have going on in that game right now is that we essentially found ourselves in this kind of otherworldly pocket dimension that's being run by, you know, strange, I don't know if it's a demon. Oh, I think it was described as a Hagraven. But yeah, they were essentially using the energy and vibes from the people in the art museum we were in to essentially give themselves unlimited life. At least that's my take on it. I don't know if that's actually what's going on. If that's wrong, I'm sorry, don't sue me. I know some of you are going, Dark Sage, how would we possibly know what's going on there? You wouldn't. I'm just saying, if I'm wrong, I apologize. I don't mean to gaslight something if I'm wrong about it. And to be fair, the term gaslight might not necessarily be correct there. So again, if that's the wrong term, I apologize. Remember, I haven't been feeling so great, so forgive me if what I'm saying doesn't make a ton of sense. What it really boils down to is depression is a bitch. Alright, cool. We cool? We cool. So what we just realized is that all of the floating islands in this little pocket dimension aren't necessarily separated by portals like we thought they were. We can just fly to them. We can just super jump and fly to them. Ow. So we're basically cheating the dungeon by super jumping and flying to the different land masses that exist in this place to explore them for, well, what else? Shirley is a treasure hunter. Actually, to be fair, she's an acrobat, not necessarily a quote-unquote treasure hunter. We're not looking at a Lock Cole sort of thing here. And she doesn't get offended when people call her thief. She reminds them that they're probably wrong. But she's not offended by the term. So what ended up happening is that the group was invited there via mysterious mail order. Excuse me. I wanted you to go that way. Oh my god, the icicles are actually blocking my exploding fireball. What sorcery is this? I think it's water-based sorcery. You know what? Shut up. Give me that health crystal, thank you. Oh, upgrade to Bouncing Surge. Oh, okay, you're understanding the market now. Thank you, Iris. Thank you. Oops, wrong button. You know, it's strange. When I have both Thundering Chain and Bouncing Surge, I'm used to Thundering Chain being on LB and and Bouncing Surge being on Y. Sorry, I said the wrong thing there. So if I switch them around, hopefully that makes things a little bit easier for me. There we go. Alright, that was stressful. Sorry about that. So we get these invitations, and there's more people in our party than just the four characters represented. Okay, I feel pretty confident about this run. I will make myself shiny. But only a few of them were actually invited to the art gallery. What that's saying to me is that there were a few people that were being invited there to have their strength absorbed. It just didn't end up working out that way. So now we're fighting to save the people in the art gallery. I wouldn't even say it's necessarily against all odds, because we're doing just fine. Some very Devil May Cry monsters are in here, though. Like, the main enemies that we're fighting are these weird floating things with multiple arms. They kind of remind me of the scissor enemies from the first Devil May Cry game. Which, you know, which feels all the more apt, considering that I'm playing Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition on Switch right now. Which, yes, I have played that game before, I just love it. I like the calcifying bone mail, and I absolutely need the healing potion, though. So after I get some more money, I'll have to go back and get that. Let's just take care of the boss now, that'll get me some money. I hate Strafe Archer so much. Alright, as I said, it's not negotiable. I need to buy that, so I hope that doesn't screw me for later on in the run. And that I can maybe sell to Cremire later if I find him. Alright, let's finish out the floor, get a little bit more. Okay, I'm starting to notice that Exploding Fireball might have been a bad choice. It seems to get stopped on so much as a light breeze. Alright, feeling a little bit better now. Can't afford the calcifying bone mail, but I think I'll make it. So, to put it lightly, everything in the place that we're exploring in that game is super surreal. And it just creates this environment where if you're not exactly... I mean, to be fair, everyone's mentally stable. I don't mean to make it sound like this, but if you're not exactly stable in your morale, things can feel overwhelming. And yes, little Shirley, unfortunately, has had to stop a couple of times because things have gotten a little too crazy, a little bit too otherworldly for her. Now, to be fair, a lot of this is just good character role-playing because it's not like the characters are like level 3 or 4 and being thrown into something like this for the first time. I believe Shirley herself is level 9, so she's got some experience with weird things. But, I mean, pocket dimensions, ag ravens, life-draining spells, surreal HR Geiger monsters that just fly through the air with 8 arms. And I have to imagine that just about anyone would be thrown off by that, doesn't matter how experienced you are. What I imagine is that if you're super experienced with that, you look at that going, huh, this isn't something I see every day, because for a seasoned, like, level 15, level 16 adventure, it's like, oh, an undead monster that walks on its hands and has 2 heads? Must be Tuesday. But for someone a little bit less experienced, they're going, the fuck? And that's currently what Shirley is dealing with. She's slowly getting by with the help of her friends, but that's exactly why I like this character and the dynamic that she has going on with her friends and little Arrietty, is that it is her getting by with a little help from her friends, and that just feels right. It feels good for the character, it feels fun for the game. I guess I'm fighting the boss. Didn't exactly mean to fight the boss, but oh well. Okay, I meant to use the prickly dance there, so I used. Unicorn tail, yeah! Prepare for the colors! The colors, Duke! The colors! Hey, you got anything fun for me? Hey, you got that Lotus Froststone. I'm gonna come back for that 2 gold. But I like the spells that I have. You're gonna end up taking Rebounding Icicles. Yeah, you can have that. Elixir of Might. Increases all damage based on how healthy you are. Oh my! Alright, well that incentivizes me further to not take a bunch of stupid damage. God, that plus 25% damage is big. It's real big. Yes, beautifully executed. Okay, that Elixir of Might in and of itself is a good reason to invest in Dr. Song. If you can. If you can't, then it's best not to force it. So one of the cool things that's going on is that we're finding interesting ways of using old inventory. Like, as an example, Shirley's been carrying around a bag of sand for a while that she has no use for. What she finally came to understand is that because Arrietty is a practicing Earth Elementalist, she can just give it to her, and now what Arrietty has going on is the ability to use that sand to throw things like, you know, long-range sand fist attacks. And she recently started upgrading that sand. And yes, again, you're thinking, oh, that's Gaara from Naruto. Keep in mind, I've never watched Naruto, so that didn't come to me right away when I did it, but fuck it, it's working, I'm going with it. I was not necessarily trying to... I am definitely buying the Equestria Cap. Because my movement speed will be insane, la 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 la. It's also an outfit base, ah da 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 da. With the rainbow tail and the Equestria Cap, I'll have the unicorn outfit made. Come up with your own rhyme. Oh, you son of a bitch. Alright, what did that... 17.5. It's still a lot. It's still more than I would have if I didn't have it. But yes, I do feel a little silly for taking that damage. Okay, you gotta die. Okay, I need my health back. Feeling vulnerable again. Hey, what do you got? Don't have a reason to pick that up. But I can now afford the Equestria Cap. Unicorn disguise! Oh my god, I'm so fast. I am so ridiculously fast right now. Actually, I'll save the health potion until the end of the level. God, I thought I was faster. I thought I was fast in the Manic run, but oh my god, look at this. I am so ridiculously overspeeded. You hear about overpowered all the time, but I'm overspeeded. I hear you, buddy. I hear you. Cecil's trying to tell me there's no such thing as too fast. I'm going, sir, you're not paying attention to the run. Look at this. Yes, I'm pretty sure there is such a thing as too fast, sir. Let's take out the boss now. I don't want the regenerative inkwell. I do want that. Alright, and I'm gonna finish up the floor because, God, I reach max speed fast. Whee! God, I hate the Earth Elemental enemies. Zoom! Oh my god! I have to rethink my position on speed after this run. Certainly isn't hurting that I have this on an upgraded, whatever the name of this robe is, the Palpatine robe. Venture, an upgraded Venture. My run speed is so dumb. Uh-oh. God, that's got some range. There we go. Woo! Alright. That was a little stressful. Again, sorry about getting all quiet on you. I just need to focus on, not dying. Which, I almost didn't do. Okay, going. I kind of need one of those health potions now. I'm feeling a little vulnerable. Yeah, I hate those enemies so much. Every time I see Atlas at level 3, I just know I'm gonna lose. But at least you got to see the unicorn disguise, and I got to talk about one of our D&D games, so not a complete loss. So take it for what it's worth. Not every run can be a win, and I will be back next time, hopefully feeling a little bit better, and hopefully with a run that wins, and we'll continue talking about D&D. Who knows, maybe I'll even do it over Binding of Isaac. So, thank you very much for watching. Go ahead and subscribe and do all that fun stuff, and I will see you guys in a future video, hopefully with less depression. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you.